It's Sunday. You know what time it is. Time for the hottest wrestling podcast on the planet. Beyond the Barricade with your host, Dollar Bill, the Cleaner, the Silent Assassin, special guest hosts, Sprocket Ferry, and the Brain. Let's get started.
Happy Sunday.
Yes,
Indeed.
that's right. The brain has been demoted to special guest host.
God. So All In, was it how can I say this? Was it as good as you guys expected?
All in, all that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed myself.
I definitely enjoyed the show.
So how many
Couple
5-star
could
matches
have
are
been
you
a
giving
little
it?
better, but that happens in every show.
How many 5-star matches are you giving?
I can tell you right now, there's one definitely going to be a 5-star match, and that's that main event.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
Stuber, how
I-
you doing, brother?
Who?
Um,
I don't have the chat up.
I'm gonna give like 7.
You're not going to see the Twitch chat.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I was just saying, like, I don't have it on my on my tab. So I'm like, is he seeing people?
No, because I'm
There's
showing it on my channel too.
Yeah, no.
On my channel.
It took me a second to realize that, but yeah, no. I think the Danielson match is gonna get 5 stars probably. If there is any other matches that might come close to that, honestly, it really could have. It was a very entertaining match.
Yeah, he's gonna get 7 stars. You know that.
The other matches, there's only 2 other matches I think that could come close, and that's the MJF Osprey match and the women's title match, the world title match. I enjoyed them both very, very extensively, and I mean, but was just. I mean, it was a very, very good show, but I don't want to be like, oh, it's a normal AEW pay-per-view where the in-ring quality is so substantially good. I mean, it's almost got. I think this is where the effects of AEW is that a card this good now doesn't. Like, we're not praising it as good as it could be because we're so used to this. This is expecting of an AEW pay-per-view. If this was a WWE pay-per-view, people would go nuts over it, And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that, hold on one second. Okay, so I apologize about that, but like I was saying, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that more in a because WWE has such a different style than AEW. AEW is more in-ring focused, so it's more traditional to the point where pay-per-views are blow-offs, unlike WWE where pay-per-views, and I'm going to call them pay-per-views. I'm not going to call them premium live events. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay for
Yeah, you still got to pay for them. And like that's another thing. I hate because it's premium live event. You're making it sound like a house show because they've been calling house shows live events for so long.
Hell, I don't like that either.
Yeah, but yeah, no. AEW is so much more focused on in-ring content. And it's so much more focused on these pay-per-views being blow-offs. This is where the storylines are going to complete. Where WWE, the one thing I've noticed, and it felt like to me, is more that the pay-per-views. Now, I want to see if you guys feel the same way. It felt like that the WWE pay-per-views felt more as like continuations to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, because towards the end, when especially when the one show that me and John went to, Backlash, it never pay-per-views, even to the point of WrestleMania, felt like they weren't building towards this point. Like these storylines weren't building towards these pay-per-views. They were just like the pay-per-views just felt like another edition of Raw and SmackDown, and they would just continue it to the next night, you know. And it wasn't, and these storylines weren't ending in matches. So,
perfect example of that from the Backlash was the AJ Styles and Nakamura match.
Every time we bring that up, the more and more I get depressed. I was so excited for that match.
So was I. And then to have that bullshit double count out.
Kick.
Double kick.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
It broke my heart because I know I've said this on the show before, you know, that they had a match in New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom 10. It was AJ Styles' last New Japan match, like an official match, you know, because he hadn't won the next night, but it was at Angle. But yeah, no, I remember just watching, like staying up till like 5 o'clock in the morning just to watch that match. And to actually be able to have the chance to be able to see something, to see that live, you know, at the Prudential Center in Newark, I was so excited. And man, it was like such a letdown. That whole show was a letdown.
Yeah, it was. It absolutely was.
It's kind of effed up then, even more so.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why I'm so thankful for AEW, because it's like, now, like I remember as a kid, I used to get this so like bubbly feeling, like, oh my god, it's WrestleMania! I can't believe it's WrestleMania, and like maybe like for the Royal Rumble as well. But now for like every AEW pay per view, I just get so excited. Again, it's like, oh my god, it's AEW pay per view day. And that's for each pay per view.
Yeah. I'm anxious to see what happens at All Out.
Yes, because I know because of the events today, there is one match I know for a fact that's going to be happening at All Out, which I believe is in 2 weeks, and that is Willow and Chris Statlander for the CMLL Women's Championship.
Mm-hmm. Now the question is, what's the stipulation going to be?
Yes, that will probably be decided this Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Sprocket, what did you think about that? What do you think so far of the show?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought the Ospreay and MJF and then Danielson and Swerve were the best matches, but it was pretty good for a pay-per-view.
My boy came out to Assassin's Creed.
Yes, that was a very
came out
because he's a big fan of himself of Assassin's Creed, and they know. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, take a look at how many pops I have of Assassin's Creed up here.
Oh wow!
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was meaning Ospreay. Like, yeah, he's a huge fan. He's got a tattoo of it, and even to the point where Ubisoft noticed. And
I can't remember.
So Ubisoft actually probably had a big part of today's entrance.
Hello.
Hello. Come on, Stas.
Genki da. Genki da.
Ah, Genki desu.
Ah.
Genki desu ka? Daijoubu?
Daijoubu.
Oh, no! Sayonara!
Sorry for the Japanese, folks.
Yep.
Say that for Tuesday. Say that for Tuesdays.
I don't know. I still say it.
Well, I gotta practice it every day. I gotta practice for my wife.
See?
Not anybody specific, although I would love it to be somebody specific. But yeah, you know, now that I got my passport, I'm going over there, and I'm gonna find my wife, and I'm gonna unfortunately stay there.
I say, when you going over?
Whenever friends decide to go. we're still in the early stages of planning.
Oh, of course.
So, oh yeah, maybe. So I guess you know what? Let's run down this card. see
Yeah,
everybody's opinions, what everybody would like to talk about.
Excuse me.
So there was a couple of announcements. And I'm sorry, Breen, but I guess usually the AEW episodes I take the lead.
That's fine, bro. I'm good. But tonight,
All right.
tonight I was all over this show like white on rice, man. I watched every damn match, even
That's
on the
good.
even on the pre-show.
That is beautiful to hear. So,
Yes,
but
it
yeah,
is.
so
I gotta say that 16-man tag match on the
to open the
pre-show,
show. Yep.
that was sick.
Yeah. Because a lot of the times, 16-man matches, it's a recipe for disaster, especially with
Yeah.
that amount of mass in the ring.
It's very difficult. They're very difficult to control and to keep track of everything.
Yeah. They made it work.
Yeah,
Let's see. Do I have an official time?
they had 5 guys on the ring at any time and 3 guys from each team on the floor.
Yes. Yeah, well, yeah, because especially with something like that, if you're not having a spot for a while, you should sit on the outside. Hopefully don't get in the way of any of the fans.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
But yeah, no, it was the Faces won in 11:35. I'll be honest, that went a little farther than I thought it was going to be.
Huh. Ooh, look what we got in the chat.
Who do we got?
Oh wow!
Oh,
You
nice.
gotta follow. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Cobalt, how you doing? This has to be graded.
Yeah. So how? Well, okay. So how was your experience?
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
If you're in the crowd,
From what I could get, that crowd was jumping.
yeah. No.
Thanks for
Yeah, I
joining
mean,
us.
Yes.
Great
Thanks
to have
for.
somebody who's actually there in the chat.
Flew out from the States.
The heel.
Nice,
Sweet.
nice, love it. Where are you from?
But no, yes. Those European crowds are always very good. Very good.
Oh my
seen,
God.
as we seen earlier this year and last year with WWE, Indianapolis.
Indy.
Not too far from me.
Nice. You're gonna have some fun next year. It's gonna be a
Yes.
busy town.
That's what I love. So I love about the European crowds. Fuck, and the energy.
Is it? Are they getting Royal Rumble
Indeed, yes.
next year? Right?
February 1st.
Hmm.
Ew.
Yeah, it is late this year.
Ew.
Wait, February 1st?
Yep.
That is disgusting.
crazy.
A Rumble in February?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
like
weird. Jetty, how you doing? Welcome to the chat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost bad as. I mean, I don't know what's worse, that or SummerSlam August 3rd.
No. Remember 2 years ago they did SummerSlam in July?
Yeah.
I don't remember that
2
because
years
I wasn't watching.
You never watched it. Why should you?
I love it.
Well, if you weren't paying attention to WWE, then I guess I can't be too mad at you. But anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like
since when has he ever paid attention to WWE?
It's been 5 years.
Yeah, he's
Sick.
got no reason to.
or it's like
6.
Oh my God.
saying, oh, let's do Survivor Series in December. I'm like,
Nice.
Oh,
Stuff.
no, that this year's Survivor Series is gonna be November 30th. So it's literally the last day of November.
Wow. On the that's Saturday.
Yeah.
where's it
Thanksgiving
located?
Saturday.
Vancouver.
Oh, you know why?
No,
Well, I don't know who went first though. But I do know that Full Gear, I think, is the week beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Full Gear is the
Oh.
23rd. Once those tickets go on sale, I got to go get them.
Hey, Vonnie, how you doing? Welcome to the chat.
I'm debating.
But oh no, I mean, of course, I'm the AEW guy. I'm going to Grand Slam next week or next month, and then I'm going to Full Gear.
Very
That's
nice.
But yeah, no. So okay, so let's talk about this. The second. Well, before we get into the second match, we could talk about the some of the big announcements that came out from AEW this weekend, or during this show. First, a couple of weeks ago, it was announced that All In is now going to be moved to July. It's going to be taking place from Arlington, Texas, Globe Life Field, home of the, as of right now, world champion Texas Rangers, the only
Yes.
Rangers to win the world championship. But yeah, no.
I got them, Vonnie. Thank you.
I got that joke.
Yes, Rocket is here.
Hello, hello.
So
Rocket, look who joined us.
Yeah, I see. I had your Twitch open on my phone.
Cool. And I'm going to share something. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share it.
Cobalt, I don't think there was going to be a way that AEW would not have, like, they would have had a crowd. If they would have went to AT&T Stadium, they would have had a crowd basically like one of the nights of WrestleMania 38. Was it the most recent WrestleMania in Dallas? Yeah, 38. Because that was like 70,000, I think, or 80,000 over 2 nights. They would have at least one of those nights. It would have been 40,000, and it wouldn't have looked that good in that venue. So I think you could put 40,000 in Globe Life and sell the place out. So I think it's a better decision to go to Globe Life.
Yeah, definitely.
But that was not the only thing. Today it was made official that Forbidden Door 2025 will be taking place this time next year from London. They're going to bring the co-show, the co-promoted show, to London. Now, they didn't announce a venue. I don't feel like they're going to go to Wembley next year for this show. I mean, they absolutely can, but I don't know if they will. I potentially think they will do the O2, which is the arena that I think Monday Night Raw, when WWE goes over there, that's the arena they run. So I think that's what they're going to do. Yeah, 80K, 50K, and I'm basically going off of, Globe Life is a very Texas is the Dallas Fort Worth is a very hot market for AEW, so I feel like going to Globe Life right now is the better option.
Mhm.
And I feel like, knowing how well AEW fans travel, I feel like they could definitely sell that place out. And not only that, so they announced also All In 2026 is going to be back at Wembley.
Okay.
And then they also announced, now I don't know if they announced it as a pay-per-view or as a Dynamite, but next February they're going to be running in Australia. It's going to be called Grand Slam, but I don't know if they're calling it Grand Slam Dynamite or just Grand Slam, and it's going to be a pay-per-view.
So far, from what I've seen, it's going to be just Grand Slam, so it's going to be a pay-per-view. But that may change,
What day was it specifically?
February 15th, I believe.
Yeah, day after Valentine's Day.
Oh.
The 15th? Oh, so that's a Saturday. So yeah, that's probably going to be a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about losing my Grand Slam streak.
Yeah. Hey, Chaos, how you doing, brother?
Chaos is in the house.
Chaos in the house on YouTube.
Yes, Chaos. Grand Slam is usually Dynamite, but they announced Grand Slam Australia, and since it's going to be on a Saturday, it's probably going to be a pay-per-view. Unless it's a collision, a live collision, which I doubt. Because they're
Walt just said biggest collision you've ever seen.
yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt.
yeah.
Trust me, I've seen plenty of collisions over the years, and I'm not talking about AEW.
Ba-da-ba-da-bum-bum.
Yeah, because I was like, oh wait, over the years, it's only been 1 year.
No, I thought Collision was 2 years.
Nah, it's 1 year.
Yeah, it just celebrated a year recently.
Damn.
Yeah, because I went to number like 4, I think. Number 4 or 5, the one that we went to last year, Fitz.
Yeah.
That was collision number number 4 or 5. But so yeah, the next match was a mixed tag team match. Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii defeated Statlander and Stokely Hathaway by pinfall in 8 minutes 10 seconds. And the stipulation is that since Nightingale won, her team won, she can choose the stipulation for the Women's World CMLL Championship in 2 weeks at All Out. So do you guys have any comments and questions about that match?
I thought it was hilarious that Stokely was set to start the match against Ishii, and then he tagged Statlander right off the bat.
Yeah.
I think he spent a grand total of about 2.5 minutes in the ring.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what.
I was impressed with one thing. The fact that he was able to get Ishii up into a powerbomb.
No, I thought it was a spine buster.
Or spine buster, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same difference, but still, he was able to get him up and slam him. But the fact that Ishii just got right back up and no sold it, it was hilarious.
No sold.
And I'll tell you what, I didn't want to say like that. It was a beautiful spine buster.
Oh, it was.
An Anderson level spine buster. And Cobalt.
I'm close to Arn Anderson level, but
It has to be like at least Triple H level.
yeah, I would have gone, but that's a good question. Why don't we discuss that for a minute? What kind of stipulation do you think Willow will choose? Sprocket, what do you think?
Sprocket first.
What was that?
What stipulation do you think Willow is going to choose for the match against Statlander at All Out?
No holds barred, maybe? You know, where anything goes.
I like it. I would go for that.
Blood on the wall.
That would be a very interesting concept, especially because I remember, what was it, back in like December, Willow and Chris had that tag team match, that very brutal tag team match, which I think it was with Anna Jay and Tay. Tay Mello.
Yeah.
They killed it. Absolutely killed it. So that could be a very, very good concept. They could probably do it. They'll probably rename it to like Chicago Street Fight, because for some reason, every time a hardcore match happens in Chicago, it's got to be a Chicago Street Fight.
I
don't know why. Well, never mind.
Say that again one more time, Fitz.
I would personally save that Chicago Street Fight for another certain big feud, but we'll get to that feud in a little bit.
Okay. Dealing. And then what were you going to say, Dollar Bill?
Well, first off,
Nice,
I was going to say Chicago. It was like something like going back to the WCW days, but Chaos had a damn good funny line though. Oh my god!
I want to see a dog collar match between them.
Oh my god! The amount of memes for that one, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to become a 6-pack. Entering the ring.
Blessing.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good old JP Mayer.
Woohoo!
I'm hot.
Welcome.
Dude.
We got some new visitors in.
Yeah,
got Chaos.
I see a sprocket fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
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 You may-
hello,
You know her
hello.
better as Country Girl.
Ah, hello.
Hello, hello. Sprocket Fairy is just my handle on Twitch.
Fair enough.
We have in the Twitch chat. We have Cobalt Reborn, an Indianapolis native who went over to All In,
Ooh.
and of course we have our wonderful nemesis from FTW, Chaos.
Yeah, I can't say anything bad about Chaos. Chaos whooped my ass.
Not as bad as you thought. You came back pretty good there in that match. If
I
you
was
hadn't
down.
if you hadn't no yeeted Raw, you would have won that match.
No, that's the problem. I yeeted Raw. Like,
No, you know yeeted. Because if you yeet, that means you bring it in. You toss it away. That's a no yeet.
yeah, that was just so bad. But much respect to Chaos.
hmm
So, have you guys talked about All In yet?
So
Doing that right now.
yep. So what we were talking about was the mixed tag team match on the pre-show. You got any thoughts about that?
I haven't watched anything. I just saw like highlights on TikTok and stuff people were sharing.
Okay.
I have questions.
Okay.
I have answers.
Yeah. We might have answers.
Okay. So Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne lose the trios titles.
Yes.
Just for Christian to win the Casino Gauntlet match
Mm-hmm.
to get basically a title shot whenever he wants.
Yeah.
So if you watch the Casino Gauntlet match, all right, I guess we could go out of order.
Yeah, this
The Casino Gauntlet match, it was done Battle Royal, or not Battle Royal. It was done Royal Rumble style, where every certain amount of time, somebody would come out, and
It was like every 60 seconds.
I actually don't know what the actual times were. Actually, no,
felt like it.
it's about to start right now because I got the playback. So I wonder if they'll say it. But no, it was like every 60, a minute 30, something like that. And 21 entrants. Christian Cage, I think, was halfway through.
Chaos, I can't agree with you more.
He was halfway through, and I mean, I liked the decision because it was a nice little swerve there, making everybody think that that Luchasaurus, he was coming back, and we're finally going to get him back. But no, it was just a swerve there. Christian Cage, I think people are very underrated on him. He's very well liked in AEW. He is somebody that has helped a lot of people, outside of his character. And honestly, he is one of the better heels in AEW right now, other than maybe, let's say, MJF. So I think people that are against Christian Cage winning, I would have to disagree with them. I'm not gonna go on a rant, but I would have to disagree with them. And the way they did it, he didn't overpower anybody. It was just Luchasaurus came down, choke slammed Orange Cassidy, who was there from the start, and it was a 1-2-3. He put Christian Cage over Orange Cassidy. It was a 1-2-3. So it's not like he came in and ran roughshod, or even like if it was something like Brock Lesnar and the Money in the Bank.
Oh, please.
No,
That was horrible.
And it's not that I'm 100% against Christian. I'm a Pete. I've been following him since the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think you could have gone a different direction.
I mean, I agree, but I think the way that he won it was perfect for his character. Because, like I said, it wasn't him rolling over or steamrolling anybody, or just literally just walking in for a cover 1-2-3. he won it in a heelish way, in a typical Christian way, a Christian Cage way. So, and a lot of it is, I feel like he's going to get the opportunity at Grand Slam. I don't feel like it's going to happen because supposedly, I think they're doing another Grand Slam tournament this year.
Oh,
It's awesome.
Yeah, another. I don't know what they called it, but I think they're doing another Grand Slam championship tournament. But this is probably going to be for what do you call it? Oh, okay. This is. I don't know why, but I just looked on the Wikipedia page for Grand Slam. I'm going to share it right now. Share screen.
Yeah.
For Grand Slam.
So Chaos has an interesting question.
Mhm.
Is anybody
Wow.
going to care by the time Kill Switch finally turns? Yeah, I personally say no.
I say yes, because
Think
if
so?
you judge by the reaction of the crowd tonight, yes.
dude.
So this
Yes,
is on
I
Grand
will.
Slam. Sorry for cutting you off, but this is very peculiar because this is nothing that would hint at this being the main event. But this is what it has listed for the main event of Grand Slam.
What's it
Mhm.
say?
Brian Danielson versus
Darby.
Darby. Now, I think they would probably hold this off for Wrestle Dream. I think that Darby Allin, I think you could replace him with Christian Cage. I think this is just to get a championship match at Grand Slam. That's why I think Christian Cage won it. Because if you go back to, I'm going to go back to All Out right here, and they have the two matches as, Willow and Chris, and then Ospreay and Pac, which is, I've completely forgot is going to happen. But yeah, Pac is going to get his opportunity at the International Championship at All Out. But I would figure Wrestle Dream right here, they don't have any matches up. But Wrestle Dream, say that again?
Too early.
Yeah, it's too early, but I think that's where the hypothetical Darby Allin match would take place.
Okay.
Is that
That's true. Chaos is right. They already announced Darby's title match at Grand Slam because he won the Battle Royal.
what Battle Royal?
He won Royal Rampage.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he
See, I
gets that
completely.
title shot.
Yeah, because they usually do a Battle Royal like that on a Rampage for Grand Slam.
Yeah, this time they upped the ante. They gave him a title shot.
Okay. So I wonder when Cage is going to get his title shot.
I think he can use it whenever he wants.
Here's my thinking. And Sprocket, you can jump in if you agree, when you agree or disagree with me. Danielson has his match at All Out. Danielson has a match at All Out, wins that match, goes to Grand Slam. And that's where he has his match against Darby.
Mm-hmm.
Or Danielson has a title match at All Out. He loses the title at All Out due to interference from Nigel McGuinness.
Mm.
So Christian Cage cashes in at All Out. Nigel McGuinness interferes at All Out, costing Danielson the title. Danielson gets pissed off at Nigel, and we get the match we've been waiting for 20 years. Danielson versus Nigel at Wrestle Dream in Washington. However, this time it's another retirement match, and this is where Danielson finally ends up losing, and he ends up retiring.
So,
Rocket, what do you think?
Yeah, I could see that. That would make, yeah. Yeah, that makes.
And then with
perfect sense
Christian
to
winning
me.
the match at All Out, Darby gets his title shot at Grand Slam against Christian.
So, the one thing I will no, don't get me wrong. That's a very good thinking. That's a very good booking strategy. But I don't think the contract is Money in the Bank style, where it could go anywhere at any time. I think it does have to be announced beforehand.
Right, so he could announce that he wants to cash in at All Out. He wants his title shot at All Out.
Considering, see, this is how I'm going to see it. Because considering the whole rumors that have been recently, I'm sure you guys heard that AEW is considering giving Daniel or Darby Allin the title run. So
Mhm.
I feel like what they're going to do is, since he also said Danielson has a limited number of dates, like he can't be doing every week. I don't feel like he goes to All Out unless if he does, it'll probably be in a tag match. And I feel like Danielson, knowing also Danielson has stated in the before, he didn't want to win the AEW World Title when he came in. So I feel like Darby, he's going to drop it to Darby at Grand Slam. Considering it wouldn't be the first time we've had a month-long AEW World Champion. It wouldn't be the first time for a lot of the stuff. It wouldn't be the first time that the AEW title has changed hands at Grand Slam. So I feel like, personally, he's going to drop it at Grand Slam, especially since now there isn't like a title versus career stipulation.
Right.
So I feel like he's going to drop it at Grand Slam, and then the main event of Wrestle Dream will probably be. And you know what? I might borrow your little stipulation there with Nigel. Nigel costing Danielson the title, and then that's how they could set up the match for Wrestle Dream, along with Darby versus Christian at Wrestle Dream.
Or even Darby versus Swerve at Wrestle Dream, and save the winner of that versus Christian to World's End.
No, because
Or Full Gear.
Or
no,
that's right,
because
Full
I'm
Gear
gonna-
too.
I'm gonna. Ooh.
What?
All right. Cobalt Reborn says also don't forget about the Jack Perry push. Okay. Right now he's busy with the TNT title, so we'll leave him
I will
alone
agree
on
with
that.
that. I will agree with you.
I just want to put it out there that Jack Perry's new TNT title looks fucking amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so cool that he did it himself.
Yes.
So Chaos comes out, says, what if Brian states on Dynamite that the next time he loses, he will retire?
Did you enjoy when Ric Flair did that?
No.
That's what I mean. You know. And yeah, I agree with Cobalt. Is that I think they're gonna hold off on Swerve because I think Swerve is gonna be going back into a feud with Hangman after considering, because I think they actually did it in a good way. It didn't make Swerve didn't lose clean, so they protected him by having Hangman come out. And it wasn't even Hangman dropping him; it was just Hangman just appearing, and that distracted Swerve. But Swerve didn't lose right off of that, so I think that did protect Swerve a little bit, and they're gonna go back into a feud.
Yeah. So yeah, Chaos comes out with no, because no one believed that Flair was going to retire to Carlito.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And everybody knew Flair was going to retire at Mania. They didn't know the opponent, but they knew he was going to retire at Mania. Because I remember
Yeah.
that.
Or
Yeah,
MVP, or Ken Kennedy,
Yeah.
or
Not even Triple H.
Yeah. Not even Triple H. So, I mean, like, why would... Sabring?
Hang on one second. I'm trying to do something here.
Okay. But yeah, no, like, so everybody knew that he wanted his. It was the same thing with Michaels 2 years later. Everybody knew he wanted his retirement match at Mania, but they weren't stupid enough to do the same storyline choice. So that's why I think storyline wise, I think Bryan Danielson. I hope they don't do it, and I don't think they will because I think it's a stupid storyline. Like it's good for one match. It's not good for like several months of next time I lose, I retire. And especially considering Danielson has stated he's not retiring from wrestling at all. He's just retiring from full time. So once he finishes, fixes his neck, he might come out for like a special match here and then.
Guys, we know we had the good sound from the pay-per-view show itself. Check this out. This is from inside the crowd. This is Vonnie's son, Graydon, who was at the show.
And is it for Ricochet?
Ready? Hang on. Yep.
Now, granted, I'll be honest, I thought that big pop for number 3, I thought that was Ricochet. But then it turned out to be Danielson, or McGuinness.
Yeah.
Which I was super happy for, man. Because there was a point...
I heard Nigel came out. I'm like, what? And I missed it.
Yeah, because I saw the huge pop and everybody going nuts. And I'm like, oh, shit, here comes Ricochet. And then it cuts to the stage, and it's like, nope, Nigel McGuinness. I'm like, what? They actually got him. I was so happy for him because he deserves it so much.
100% yes.
Oh. I'm surprised Cabal, I would rank Ospreay 1. I mean, that's how it seemed across from TV that the crowd was super over for Ospreay. Super fucking over.
The crowd was definitely super over for Ospreay. They were definitely over for Nigel, but Ospreay was definitely number 1. I think Nigel was number 2 and Ricochet was number 3.
Chaos, may I ask, are you talking about Ricochet?
Okay, cool. Nigel was bigger.
I agree with you. If they hadn't announced it, it would have been even better.
Well, here's the thing. To be fair, AEW never announced it.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Sean Ross Sapp announced it.
Yeah.
Sean Ross, shut up sometimes.
Yeah, really.
Well,
Like, no, shut up sometimes about
spoiling things.
This is what I love about SRS though. If he tweets something, if he says something, it's 99% true.
Yeah, that's not the problem. Because sometimes, shut up. Like, sometimes, you know what? It's like, don't spoil it.
But to be fair, let's be honest. We all knew he was going to go to AEW anyway as soon as he got released, as soon as he let the contract expire.
Yeah.
That's the only thing crazy. It's like one of those you know and you don't know. But they also announced Nigel though. See?
So Cobalt, yes, because probably he's from Essex, and the whole soccer thing. They take soccer extremely serious over there.
Soccer.
You mean football?
Football's life over there.
My butt is planted in the United States of America. It's soccer. Mind you, I found this out. Not only was it the sport originally called soccer, it was originally the ones who invented the term soccer was the English. They invented the term, and then just randomly they invented the term soccer because originally it was called something else. It was like
Footy. Read the Cobalt said.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a term for football, but yeah, no, it was originally called I think it was like the organization, and from the organization they shortened it down to soccer, and then that's the term that we grasped. But then after we grasped it, they changed it to football.
Yeah.
Also, the English changed it back.
Yeah, they changed it back.
You bloody scumbags.
Yeah, and then they try to dunk on us for calling it soccer.
That's why they did that, dude. It's a British way of fucking with you. You know that.
Yeah. So, like I said, my butt is planted in the United States. It's soccer. But yeah, no. It's so crazy over there that there are so many stadiums have literally blocked off away sections. Like home fans and away fans can't intermingle, and they have to aways have to have their own section.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's gonna be riots.
Yeah. But the Acclaim did have a huge pop. At first, I was surprised that they were coming out last, but I'm like, oh wait, no, it's the Acclaim. Max Caster has to do a rap.
Exactly.
Right.
Let me ask, who ate the pin in that match?
I think it was the Acclaimed. I don't think FTR ate the pin. Hold on, let me look it up right now. Young Bucks. They had beautiful outfits too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it might. I think it was Dax who took the pin.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. But mind you, we should also talk about one of probably the most underrated debut, or the one probably people least saw coming at the end of the match. GYV, Grizzled Young Vets hit the ring. And it looks like they're probably going to be signing with AEW.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's very good. A very good addition to the tag team scene, especially since, unfortunately, their AEW's might not get Motor City Machine Guns. They haven't signed anywhere yet, as we know of, so it's still up in the air. And I always like to say, nothing is official until you see them on your TV screen.
Yep. Just like
Of course.
said to me when NXT showed Robert Roode back at TakeOver Dallas, that AEW wouldn't show the Grizzly Young Veterans on their TV if they weren't signed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, they were on Collision a couple weeks ago, or a month ago, but it's like Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish when they first showed up in NXT. They were on NXT, but it was still it wasn't seen as a debut. It was seen as a tryout almost. So this is their debut as an official member of the roster.
Yeah.
Yeah. This Veg queered. But the thing was, supposedly she was dead set on going to WWE. It's just, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way she did business. She didn't do business at all.
Oh, Stephanie Vaquer?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the upsetting thing, is that not even from an AEW standpoint, from a CMLL and New Japan standpoint, they just wanted to do business, have her drop the title, and then she was going to get a send-off too. CMLL was going to give her a send-off, but she was just nope, I'm signing with WWE right now, and here are your titles back. It's bro, plus you were advertised on a show for months, and literally the week of the show you pull out to sign with WWE. It was just shitty business, You're not doing business on your way out. That's the thing that people are upset by, is that she didn't do proper wrestling business on the way out.
That's a bridge burned.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because now, what happens if it doesn't work out in WWE? I'm not saying it won't, but I'm saying what happens if it doesn't. Your only real shot. AEW, I don't know, because they don't want to probably piss off the relationship with CMLL and New Japan. So what I was saying is, Yeah, there is TNA. There's also AAA, which is I probably think is the most likely landing point.
Mhm.
But
So,
yeah, so
let's move
I
on.
mean, yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about from the show? Any topics that are coming to your mind right now?
Sprocket.
I think the best part of Brian Danielson winning was for the simple fact, and Brain told me this. Now he officially holds the championship belt in every promotion that he's been in, and I just think
Wait, was
that's
it
so,
Jar
I just think
Pickles?
that is so cool.
No, from the diner.
Because how many
I
wrestlers
found
do
out
that?
a way for Jar Pickles to actually open it.
Can
If you go like this
you clean it
over
for a
it, and
second?
you go like that, and then it will pop right open.
Good to know.
Did you guys? Were you guys hearing me right there? Or?
Yeah, that's what I said. You can
Yeah.
mute.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I thought my mic was mute.
That's all right. No
That's
problem.
That's what the brain. Sometimes you gotta just mute other people too. You know, you're in charge.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I don't think. They...
So, Sprocket, say again.
I think the coolest part of Brian Danielson winning that title is now that he officially holds a title. He's won a title in every promotion that he's been in now. And I just think that's really cool because how many wrestlers can say that they did that? I don't care how long he holds the title. It's just the fact that he won it. And he kind of has that distinction from other wrestlers because not everybody can do that.
That is a wonderful point, and I actually didn't know that that was official because I thought he didn't win anything in New Japan, but I remember he was a IWGP Junior
I
Tag.
didn't know until Brain told me about it. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's yeah. No, that I mean, no better person for it to happen because AEW, they love him. WWE loves him. I honestly, you shouldn't trust anybody who has a bad thing to say about Brian Danielson.
Exactly. And Chaos. Brain responded. I was about to say,
Yeah.
Brian Danielson won the.
He won both. He actually was the one to combine them. I believe he was. Yeah. He's the last. He was the last pure champion until they brought it back. But yeah, he was world champion, and I think Nigel was pure champion, and he beat Nigel. Yeah, he beat Nigel to unify them, and then the pure championship just kind of went away. And remember, Survival of the Fittest, that used to be a tournament instead of one match.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's no better person for that to happen to than Brian Danielson. And he even said during the press conference today, afterwards, he was like, "Yeah, I don't even know about my future." He said he all he knows is what he's going to do Wednesday, and all he knows is that he's going to be there.
Well, I'd hope so.
Yeah, really.
All he can do is take it one day at a time.
Yep. I mean, honestly, yeah. That is true, Brain. That is true.
Oh my God.
Please, we're trying to keep this as a lighthearted conversation. Let's not bring up that piece of shit. Thank you, Chaos.
Oh, technically, that's not true because he didn't win the TNA title, even though it was the NWA title at that time, and he still didn't win the NWA title. But no, yeah. Right now, I hope you can't hear it in the background. The Gauntlet Battle Royal is going on right now. That was a very cool thing to see Ricochet. I do hope he has more of a opportunity here in AEW than he did in WWE. And that's once again not to trash WWE, but not everybody is going to be used like how people think he was.
Exactly.
He was still showing up weekly on TNA. That was back when TNA and Ring of Honor had a working agreement back in 02, 03, 04. They had a working agreement. So it wasn't that he was signed to either or. he was able to work both. But then, the whole Rob Feinstein incident happens and other things that lead to the TNA, the relationship ending. And pretty much everybody, they were forced by TNA to choose either or, and most of them chose TNA. To be fair, the one thing commendable about Punk is that he actually chose ROH.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was cool to see Grizzled Young Vets, and I will say one thing that I was really happy to see was the return of Jamie Hayter.
Yes.
Yes, that was great.
I was thinking she might.
For everybody.
Yes, she got a wonderful reaction. I was thinking she was going to show up during the Britt Baker match.
Same.
Hey, no, Chaos. No, more comments the better.
Come on, man. That's what you're here for. That's what we want. We want
Yeah.
engagement from our fans.
Yeah,
Keep going, keep
engagement.
going.
Yeah, engagement brings the numbers up. So you're good.
It's tangible.
But no, I thought she was going to show up during the Britt Baker Monet match as like Britt Baker's heater for or a response to Camille Brick. But no, she showed up during the Saraya segment, I guess. Just to give both of them their Wembley moments again. And no, and I actually, you know what? I'll be honest. That was my favorite of the night. Out of all the surprises, that was my favorite of the night because she's been out for like a year since I think Double or Nothing 2023, and to see her come back, especially everybody's cheering for her, and to see that reaction, that was just wonderful. So I'm happy.
Yes.
And to see her go through Harley Cameron, Saraya, and Saraya's family.
Yep, sweet Saraya.
Yeah, she knocked out Mom.
Yep,
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
She knocked out the security there too.
Yeah.
So but no, that was real good to see, and I'm so happy for Jamie. I don't think it doesn't look like she's going to be with DMD.
No, she's got her own deal with. She's gonna have her own thing with Britt Baker. Well, not Britt, with Saraya right now.
Probably, and you know what? It'll probably
Saraya and the Outcasts are the one that took her out to begin with.
That is true, and you know what? Since it'll probably end up in the tag team match, I think that's where Britt Baker comes back because I think we've seen the end of the story with Monet.
I think so. So, I have a good question for you.
Okay, let's shoot.
Where's Saraya's brother?
I think he was there.
Yeah, but he signed to AEW. What has he done?
Nothing.
But to be fair, I think it's only recently been signed. I think he's also had some matches, some spotlight on Ring of Honor as well. So, I mean, he's still very fresh. So, and you know how it is in AEW. You could start, stop. This is the one thing I really don't like about the booking. You could start, stop at any moment, time.
That makes my ADHD go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the one thing that I'm not honestly a big fan of in AEW, and everybody knows me that I'm probably the biggest AEW fan here in this group.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there are some people that think that I don't like. I'm one of those people that don't call out the bad things about AEW, but I'm probably the most vocal about the bad stuff that I don't like about AEW. And that is the inconsistent booking. It's not that it's like bad storylines, it's that they're inconsistent, especially within the women's division.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Inconsistency, and it's like, no wonder it doesn't really catch on. It's like, how are you going to catch on? You're basically changing your storyline every week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why the ratings are tanking every other day.
I will say that the reason why the ratings are bad is because it's the same thing with the attendance. I think this is probably my biggest gripe with the company is that the marketing is bad. The marketing is bad because a lot of people will say I've heard this story a lot of times is that people will see like we'll watch Dynamite and then they'll see the little graphic that says where the Dynamite is being located and they're like, hey, that's like 15 minutes away. Why aren't I there? Because a lot of people don't know that when AEW is coming in their area. So I think personally, to me, I think the marketing
comes down to one simple phrase. It comes down to one simple phrase. What marketing?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think the whole strategy, or at least their marketing strategy right now, I don't agree with it. I think it's bad. And it's costing them viewers. It's costing them attendance numbers. I think because I remember back right before. So I'm not sure of how many people remember this, but the original Blood and Guts, excuse me, was supposed to be at the Prudential Center in Newark, March 25th, 2020. This was the second week. What it came out to be was the second week after they stopped doing the they started going to Daly's Place for COVID shows.
Right.
So it was literally the week after. So the first week was the 18th. The next week was the 25th, and obviously I had tickets. But I remember sitting in Prudential Center. It was like at least a month out, but they were airing like during the intermission. They were airing an AEW commercial, telling people to pick up tickets. Every time the AEW has run since COVID, and has run Newark, and now I've gone to like a Devils game within that amount of time. There's no commercials.
Yeah.
Within the arena, so I feel like, and like they were running commercials on MSG during games, to advertise upcoming events at Prudential Center. I feel like this is something the AEW should be doing, not just in the Newark market, but in all markets.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
They're on a national channel, for God's sake.
Yeah.
They're on national
Yeah.
channel.
It's not local.
People in California
Yeah.
are getting the same thing that people in New Jersey and Pennsylvania are getting.
Yeah, and no, I agree because I'll watch like True TV or any one of those related channels, and they'll air an AEW commercial, but it's a generic commercial, and it's just like, it's like it's the same commercial I see like 50 times, and I'm saying like these are not good commercials. They should be running commercials that advertise what's coming up on the next Dynamite, on the next Rampage, on the next Village. Like, because this is something that Monday Night Raw I would see when I watch like USA for the Olympics, or when I would watch USA for NASCAR. They would show, or even like when I would watch stuff on Fox, they would show like for the commercials they would say,
SmackDown.
this is what happened on SmackDown last week. This is what you could look forward to SmackDown on this week.
Yeah,
and
they
like,
need to do that with AEW.
Yeah, and another thing I think AEW needs to do is, if you remember, I don't know so I haven't watched, like I said, I haven't watched Raw and SmackDown in a long time. Something that they used to do was during the show, like right before they come back from commercial, they would always, I remember like that last commercial would always be like a WWE centric commercial. And a very common one that they would run at least like 2 or 3 times a night, during a show would be, they would be advertising the live events, or like the next like 2 weeks of the schedule. They would tell you, is it like a live event, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-view, whatever. They would tell you the date, they would tell you the city, and they would tell you, go check your local box office for tickets. I don't know if do they still run those commercials?
Nope.
I honestly can't tell you. I haven't watched Raw in a while.
Like in a week's advance.
I have a bunch of them saved. I haven't watched them.
Yeah.
The last NXT, I didn't see any commercials like that.
I don't think they would do it for NXT, but like definitely for Raw and SmackDown, because I vividly remember them doing it back in the day. This is something I think AEW should be doing. I think AEW should also be doing like not just because there's sometimes now AEW they'll just have like during a match at the little bottom of the ticker they'll just say fucking the next like month of shows. But the thing is, it's happening during match. The commentators are not. It's not the focal point. That's the only like amount of advertising for the upcoming shows that I see for AEW does. They should have it as a commercial, in a lead-in coming back from break. And then another thing I think they should be doing is something that WWE used to do that I don't see them do anymore. But they would run local commercials, in-market commercials. Like for any time I remember here, whether it was like New York City, Newark, White Plains, Brooklyn, Long Island, no matter what it was, like if it was within like 50 miles of my house or New York City, we would see local commercials, and they wouldn't run like in the way of like an actual commercial. They would run like when you're watching TV and a local commercial pops up and it seems like it just cuts everything out just to air these like 30 seconds of a local commercial.
Yes.
Like it feels like the feed gets interrupted to air this local commercial. They used to do that for WWE shows or for WWE commercials. It felt like a true local commercial. It felt like it was interrupting the normal set of commercials, and it would be like White Plains, New York, WWE Live is coming to your area.
Oh God, I haven't seen those in ages.
Yeah, you could see The Rock, John Cena, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, blah blah blah. That's what I'm saying. Like this is something that AEW should be doing to get people
special appearance.
But why aren't they? Like they need to actually get. It sounds like they don't have a media team, like an advertising team. That's it.
I feel like because they're trying to do what WWE does, but the thing is, the thing that AEW doesn't have that WWE has is a already set in stone community. Like they already have a solidified fan base. It's shrunken down, since its heyday, but it's still there. They're still very loyal. That's the one thing that AEW had to do, because AEW is a 5-year-old company. They had to build a fan base, which is very difficult to do, especially now. WWE has been around since the 1950s.
Yeah, but you also got to remember that for 20 years, WWE was the only game in town.
Yeah, and that's another thing that doesn't help, is that it was the only game in town, and so a lot of people just went there. Not a lot of people knew about TNA. Yeah. Even back in the day when TNA could pull 1.5 million viewers, not a lot of people compared to. I mean, yeah, they were pulling 1.5, but like WWE is pulling 5.
Yeah.
And 3 and 5.
Not a lot of people knew about our Ring of Honor.
Oh, like if you think nobody knew about TNA, it was like a fraction of that knew about Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
and that's the one thing that pisses me off so much is because I didn't start watching Ring of Honor until like 2013. I knew about it only because of 2000. I can tell you why. Speaking about the guy in the main event, first time I ever heard about Ring of Honor was going on to NoDQ.com. Anybody remember that site?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still go to that site.
Yeah. I still go there every now and then. Not as much as I used to, but like I was saying, the first time I ever heard about Ring of Honor was when they posted about Danielson signing with the WWE. And, obviously they talked about Ring of Honor and all that. So that's when I first learned of Ring of Honor. Merchandising, I think. So Chaos says they need to work on their merchandising also. I think it's not bad until you get to the arena. When you get to a live event, or I shouldn't say a live event, a TV taping, the merch selection is bad because they have very few superstar shirts, or I should say wrestler shirts, and they have a lot of AEW branding stuff, which is not bad, but they don't have a lot of wrestler t-shirts. which I think is a disappointment. And this is going off of me at Forbidden Door a couple months ago. You know, they had a couple of MJF shirts. They maybe had like one or two other people, but their whole selection was not entirely good. It was just a lot of
Just generic branding.
yeah. I mean, the only set of like wrestler stuff they had was they do sell figures. So if you're a figure person, they do have wrestling figures there. But I think they might be signed figures. That's the only bad thing.
Yeah.
So anybody have? I know we only wanted to go to 8:30 tonight. We're still about 20 minutes out. Does anybody have any like last minute comments or anything like that? Anything they want to talk about real quick? Maybe you know what? Actually, I'm gonna hijack this right now. We could,
Oh, like you haven't already?
hey, I told you I was leading the AEW shows. I guess.
Now we get it.
And his mic's caught up.
Yep, there we go. I just realized F9 is mic muted. But yeah, so it shows you why I'm not a good host. But yeah, do you guys want to talk about All Out next week? Any predictions? So like I said, we do have 2 confirmed matches: Will Ospreay versus Pac, and Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. What do you guys think might be added to the card?
I'm thinking maybe a trios match somewhere along the line.
Okay, for the trios titles.
Probably.
Which set? AEW or Ring of Honor?
You know what? I could probably see the Ring of Honor ones being defended at All Out.
Okay, and so for those that don't know, Ring of Honor is the Ring of Honor 6-man championships, because that's the difference, right? So you got the the AEW Trios championships and the Ring of Honor 6-man championships. It's same titles but different names. So who do you think? I should say. First, I should point out that the champions are the Von Erichs and Dustin Rhodes. Now, who do you think they might face off against?
It's hard. That's hard to decide. I mean, there's not a lot of trios teams in Ring of Honor.
Undisputed Kingdom.
Ooh, I like that.
That could be a very good match.
But the one thing I would say to that, what you said, Rain, was that it doesn't have to be a team that's signed with Ring of Honor. It could also be a team in AEW, because as we remember,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Ooh, Chaos came out with a good one.
I actually do feel like that's going to be added.
Oh, absolutely. MJF is going to blame him for losing the title, but Garcia is going to blame him for injuring him so badly. So
almost killing him.
Yeah.
Oof.
So we're going to have ourselves a good old-fashioned fight.
Now, do you think we're going to be added a stipulation to that match?
Of course.
What stipulation would you like to see?
Don't know. It's like
Sprocket, what do you think? What's your
yeah.
opinion on this one?
Which one?
MJF versus Daniel Garcia.
You think there might be a stipulation added?
If MJF has his way, I could see where there could be a stipulation to it.
Which stipulation do you think might be added?
No,
About it, well, no, I already
that's all
said
collar.
that. I was
Not
going
a
to say anything
cage.
goes, but I guess that would be same thing as what I mentioned before.
Yeah, Chicago Street Fight, pretty
Yeah,
much.
Chicago Street Fight. Yeah, the dog collar match would be interesting.
Cass just likes dog collar matches.
It's gonna be
Okay.
every dog.
Or what about a casket match?
Casket match, I don't think we'll have that because we just had one tonight.
Yeah.
It was kind of underwhelming, I heard.
It was fast. I'll tell you what, it was fast. It was a very quick result. But then again, there was a surprise at the end of the match. So, or after the match, I should say. So, one thing I want to ask, right? Because I've watched, speaking about dog collar matches and its baby brother, the leather strap match. I watched recently Great American Bash 2004.
Ooh.
And do you guys remember what the main event was?
Eddie versus JBL in a strap match.
Yes. Now, this is what I want to ask. Do you like the concept of how to win the leather strap match that night? Now, do you remember how you were supposed to win that night?
Yes, touch all four corners in succession.
So do you guys like that concept or no?
Nah.
No,
I
not
do.
really.
Okay.
Could go either
Oh,
way.
yeah. Say that again, Fitz?
Could go either way.
See, I like the whole the lights on the top of the corners.
Yes.
I think that's funny.
Yeah,
Mm.
but like Fitz says, it could go either way.
Mm-hmm. So you just like them taking the leather strap and just beating the hell out of each other?
Why
Hell
not?
yeah.
Chaos, you are a sick bastard. You should be hanging out with Pac.
You sick fuck.
True.
You sick fuck.
You know what they can do? You know what scarred me as a kid?
What's
Do you
that?
remember when Kane shoved Shane McMahon into that dumpster that was set on fire?
Uh-huh.
That scarred me as a kid. Because I didn't know about wrestling and all that. I was really scared of fucking Kane when he took off the mask, because he actually became he's fucking setting Jim Ross on fire, and like me not knowing that's not even Jim Ross. It's probably like a stunt man. But yeah, no, I still remember watching that, and then watching the fucking when Shane McMahon does the limo into the side of the truck, and you
Yeah.
see Kane come out, and he looks like all fucking like he looks worse than Dusty Rhodes in a fucking bull rope match.
Yeah.
Or Kane putting jumper cables to Shane McMahon's testicles.
That somehow that one didn't scar me as much.
This is a Sammy and Dustin. They hold the tag team titles in Ring of Honor.
Yes, that is correct.
So I had an idea
Okay.
for a championship match. Okay, it'll be a 3-way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can get Guevara and Rhodes
Mhm.
versus Matt Sydal and Ricochet versus Top Flight.
I don't think Dustin will be able to keep up with them.
Probably not, but it would be a whole aerial show just with the rest of the guys in it, though.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. But yeah,
It's an area
You
show.
might
It's
as
like
well just put them all on a trapeze at that point. That's
she
basically
was
what it's going to
singing
be.
to trapeze.
Now, if we were in a different company, a la Excalibur's company, PWG, I can't even imagine like the shit they would do.
Oh God.
PWG, that is like prime for PWG and Dustin.
I want to see eventually. I think, and you can say I'm wrong, but
You're wrong.
I eventually see that Ricochet's going to get a little jealous of Ospreay. He's going to turn heel, and he's going to go after Ospreay and go after the international title. No, that ain't gonna. No, Chaos, that ain't gonna work.
I don't
I'm sorry,
know.
that's not gonna work.
I feel like they will do the match, but it's not going to be a program. It's just going to be like a one-off.
Sammy and Dustin versus the Von Erichs for the tag titles,
Yeah.
or Ospreay and Ricochet.
Oh no, the Chaos. Yeah, what Chaos said. I think they could do that as just a one-off. No, the Osprey Ricochet thing.
That'd be a banger of a program.
I feel like Ricochet would be better as the face and Osprey as the heel. But the thing is, Osprey is like one of the most, if not, yeah, he's like the second most over guy in AEW. So you don't want to ruin that. See, no, I really don't think right now they're going to do MJF with Ricochet because I think they do MJF with Garcia.
Yeah.
Although the Sammy and Dustin versus the Von Erichs, I could see that being like a main event of a future ROH taping, which supposedly ROH might actually be a part of the next AEW deal, which is going to be nice.
Yeah, say it would be nice.
Because especially, I'm not sure if you guys heard, they're transitioning True TV into TNT Sports.
Ooh.
Excellent. That would give Ring of Honor their platform.
Yeah, you could put Ring of Honor there. You could put, I feel like, you know what, you could also put there, you could put Rampage there. And you could probably air Rampage at a better time slot, too.
And live.
No, I don't think live because I think the way it works right now, it's as of right now, they're doing the best because they film Rampage. It only takes an hour right after Dynamite because the only bad thing about that was that back in the day before like Collision and all that, when they were just doing one show a week, they would do like an hour and a half of Dark, but it would be like 14 matches. They'd speed run 14 matches, 2 minutes each, and it was just brutal. And then you'd have to do the 2 hours of Dynamite, which was actually really fun. And then you'd have to do the 1 hour of Rampage, which, especially in the New York area, everybody's leaving. Like, so many people were leaving. And, like, I can tell you right now, in terms of live Rampage, I was at the live Rampage the night before Full Gear 2022. Man, that crowd was fucking horrible. That crowd was fucking horrible. Like, it was barely half. It was like the whole full bowl wasn't sold out. And I was sitting up top. And, like, mind you, this is completely different from Full Gear the next night where pretty much the entire building sold out.
Hey.
But yeah, no, I don't think Rampage going live would be a smart idea. But yeah, no, hopefully Ring of Honor gets added and then maybe they do a deal where they put pay-per-views on Max. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
And we have a bot.
Yay!
All right. Oh,
And-
baby, cheap out, Luna.
We
Don't
no
don't
longer
click
have a
that.
bot.
Don't click that link.
I
Hot
didn't.
singles are not in your area.
Yes, they
I just
are.
banned it.
Yep.
Okay.
and I did too. Thank you, Sprocket.
Yep, no problem.
She
And
is-
Luna is here.
Princess Pretty Girl is in the house. She's so pretty. She's such a pretty girl.
And she, excuse you.
Did she just belch?
She just like
Aw,
She's giving love.
she
Nothing
missed
wrong with
me while I was at work.
Oh, of course she did.
Of course you did. Giggity.
Right, Luna? Did you miss my?
So, all right, we're gonna go around the horn with final thoughts. And we're gonna go clockwise, counterclockwise. So we're gonna start with JP.
Wait, one question I want to ask is: does everybody have the same like setup in terms of people?
Yeah.
Okay, so JP, you're at the lower left.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm lower. It's
Okay.
Brain, you, Sprocket. I'm below Brain. Fitz is below you, and Dollar Bill is below Sprocket.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure that like there wasn't any confusion here, and we all had like different setups. Okay.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Whatever setup is on my channel is what everybody sees.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have your channel up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it changes sometimes when people come in and out. So it's all.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the feed on StreamYard.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking too. And
Okay. JP,
All right.
your thoughts on what we talked about and what could possibly be coming up for AEW?
AEW is walking into their 5th anniversary. I would like to stay on a little bit of a high. They had a great. Well, I haven't watched it fully yet, but it sounds like they had a great show. I heard the casket match was underwhelming, but Sting came out. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Wednesday night should be interesting. And honestly, and this is my opinion, obviously, they should not be running All Out 2 weeks after All In. Thank you, and God bless America. And go Yankees.
Fitz?
Well, it sounds like tonight's All In was a really good show. I did not know the casket match went by too quick, but I think maybe it was due to time constraints.
Mhm.
I heard the finish of Britt Baker Mercedes Moné was weak as hell. But incredible main event nonetheless between Swerve and Danielson. What's next for AEW coming up is they're building up to All Out, and I feel like part of the problem with AEW is they need to space out all their shows, because I know they got All Out, they're gonna do Grand Slam, and then Wrestle Dream. Let's just focus on one thing at a time. And I think that's the problem with AEW, is that they got too much shit going on at the same time. Do you agree?
Okay. AEW fanboy here to protect the company.
Cleaner?
Yep.
Hold your thoughts.
Yeah.
You'll get your turn.
Oh, I was just curious.
We're going in turn.
Yeah, well, I was only saying that because it sounded like he was asking a question that he wanted a response to. So that's how I interpreted that. So I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Dollar Bill.
As usual, whenever they hold an all out all in events like this, it always delivers. Like this seems to be so far, this is their big event, and it always delivers. And from what I've heard from everybody else, it's just been another banger. So now the question is, why can't they do something like this year round to keep something constantly? It doesn't have to be like the banger of this, but something where it's not like diving like ratings, but something where it's like steady. So it's like to keep the flow going. So then, basically all the other shows can get looked up to. I mean, even Silent Assassin was right when saying they have all these other shows coming on. It's like, how are you going to focus? I mean, I know you have a lot of wrestlers, but shit, man, it's like you can't just keep throwing shows and shows and shows just to get everybody on just to get everybody to wrestle. Like how do you spread it out better?
Yeah. Sprocket.
Well, I thought the pay-per-view was good. I mean, considering the build-up they had for the pay-per-view, I thought it was good. You've got your really good matches, and you got some that weren't so good and some that could have been better, but I think that's typical with any pay-per-view that you watch. But I think in terms of AEW, I just think they should focus on being AEW and not trying to catch the WWE. Just be yourself. And yeah, so I think they could handle some of the talent a lot better. I think they probably should spread their shows out so they could try to get everybody in. But and I think they'll get better over time. To me, they've been they're 6 years in. They're still a baby company. It's going to still take time to grow, but hopefully they'll handle. We'll see what's going to happen with All Out. See how they handle it, and go from there.
Okay, so now it's the time for the fanboy.
No,
but
and I'll just say I like AEW a lot too. So
no, it's okay. It's okay. But in terms of the spacing out the shows, I do want to have noted that it's been 8 weeks since their last pay-per-view, which was Forbidden Door, and they just I don't agree with the whole having All Out 2 weeks later, but it's the tradition that's kept up since the original All In, which was Labor Day weekend. So they wanted to do, Labor Day Chicago show, and unfortunately, having the London show too. But it sounds like next year Forbidden Door might be going to the arena. That's what it looks like. So, it might not be these two crazy shows back to back. And in terms, I feel like a lot of the times I'm not saying anybody here, don't get me wrong, please. I'm not trying to, be rude or anything, but it seems like a lot of people view AEW in the same light that they view WWE. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand the whole AEW style, because WWE, like I said earlier, has that thing where the pay-per-views are kind of like just another show in terms of the way it progresses stories. And AEW has gotten like a lot more old school, where these pay-per-views are the blow-offs. So, and a lot of these AEW pay-per-views are bangers because it's now expected. That's become the norm. And in terms of, the weekly shows, I feel like it's not a lot of consistency, That's my biggest gripe with the weekly shows. But yeah, I just think a lot of people, like I said, not anybody here. I'm not trying to call anybody out or be controversial or be rude or anything like that. I'm just saying, a lot of the internet discourse, they tend to view AEW like WWE, like they would watch Raw and SmackDown, and then view through that instead of saying, "Hey, this is AEW. This is their style of doing things," And it's not so much. It's like a hybrid between sports entertainment and pro wrestling, So, I just hope everybody here was able to enjoy the show if they were able to watch. If not, I hope you could find a way to watch without breaking the bank, since now the show is over. I just hope, we continue to enjoy wrestling no matter what company you support.
You would think that,
You would think that, but I see people online calling Jamie Hayter Timu. Is it Timu or Temu?
You can use Timo.
Okay, Timu Becky Lynch, and I'm like, bro, come on, they're fucking two different people.
I saw some of those comments myself.
Yeah, I'm like, they're both wonderful athletes, and it doesn't matter what company they're signed with. They're both they're separate, but they're amazing athletes. And the girl just came back after a year and a half. Cut her some slack. But
exactly.
Thank you guys for letting me rant and talk most of the show. Obviously we saw during the WWE shows, I pretty much shut up.
Well, yeah, that's when I take over mostly.
Yep. So now I feel like that little kid that's like, now I have somebody to talk to. So, but yeah, no, thank you for letting me annoy you for an hour and a half.
You're fine.
All right. My personal opinion, the show was definitely worth the time and money that was spent. I sat here the entire time. I didn't take one bathroom break during the show.
Strong bladder.
Yeah.
You real strong.
You got to remember, I'm an EMT.
Yeah, that is true.
My bladder is trained.
Now, did it fly
But,
by though?
true.
Not your bladder, but the show. Did it feel like the show flew by to you?
Yeah, actually, it did. Some of the matches went longer than I expected,
Mhm.
but they packed enough action into them to make the time worth it. Others went a little too long and
Mhm.
without enough action. The gauntlet match with some of their returns and surprise entries was phenomenal.
Mhm.
It was great to see Nigel McGuinness back in a ring.
Mhm.
Didn't expect Zack Sabre Jr. to show up.
Mhm.
Kind of figured Ricochet was going to show up in some way, shape, or form. But to see him in that match and see how fast he took everybody out
Mhm.
was incredible. The man is lightning in a bottle. When they really are ready to uncork him, God help anybody who gets in his way.
Mhm. Yeah.
But my personal favorite match was the main event. Danielson finally winning the title, even though he said over the years he didn't want to. Finally finishing out, getting ready to finish out his career. I can't argue with it. You know, I guess Tony finally got through to his thick skull that, yeah, we need to do this. And he finally said, okay, then we'll do it as a career versus title match. If you want me to win the match, I have to put my career on the line for it. And
Mhm.
Tony was like, okay, we'll do that. And it worked. It worked so perfectly. I was waiting so patiently for Swerve to get in Bree's face and for her to slap the taste out of his mouth. I kind of wish it had happened. Or if Nana had gotten hit in her face, I was even waiting for him to get in Birdie's or Buddy's face and to watch the two of them look at each other and one from each direction slap him and have him drop like a sack of taters. That would have been absolutely hilarious.
That's good.
So,
That's good
But-
that you enjoyed it.
yeah. I haven't had a bad experience with an AEW pay-per-view that I've watched. I really haven't. You know,
That's very good to hear.
Yeah.
I wish other people were like that.
and you know for a fact that when AEW first came out, I was staunchly anti-AEW. I was like, no, there's only WWE in the game. This isn't gonna work. It's gonna suck. And slowly but surely, I would watch a little bit here and there. I watched clips, talking to you, and talking to
Yeah.
other wrestling fans on the chats on Facebook. I finally got a little bit more into it, and then I started seeing more of my favorite coming into AEW, and that's what really got me more invested in it. And I am so glad I am, because I am a wrestling fan. I am a WWE fan. I am a TNA fan. I am a Ring of Honor fan. I'm an AEW fan. I'm a New Japan fan. I have caught some CMLL and AAA action. You know I'm an Indies guy. All our years at Jersey All Pro. My years at GCW and ICW. I am a wrestling fan. And right now, the wrestling industry is reaching a fever pitch. And the war between, I wouldn't even call it a war. The display of talent from all companies all around is so amazing that if you're not a wrestling fan, if your heart doesn't start racing when you hear some theme songs being played as the wrestlers are walking out, you need to check your pulse.
I agree.
I damn near shit a brick Knew it was going to happen, but I still damn near shit a brick when Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him, when he came out the final countdown.
Yeah.
Because it had been so long since the last time I really heard that song. And man, that pop was insane.
Yep.
From the first chord, that crowd lost their ever-loving minds.
Mm-hmm.
And they sang him to the ring.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. And I'll be honest with you, I was sitting here singing it too.
I was too.
I love that song.
Oh yeah, and especially as somebody day one, like me,
Mhm.
I've been following AEW day one, and when I say day one, I don't even mean like the first Dynamite or the first Double or Nothing. I'm talking about hell. If you want, we could go back to All In 2018, before it was AEW. I was at that show in Chicago. I was watching BTE when they were teasing AEW. I remember on NoDQ.com in December 2018 seeing the story leak of Cody Rhodes filing the trademarks for AEW. I remember Nick Jackson at the end of Final Battle telling us where Double or Nothing was going to be before we even knew it was being called Double or Nothing. I remember watching the BTE where they announced Double or Nothing, and then they announced AEW, and then the first AEW press conference where Chris Jericho comes out and says, "I signed with AEW." I've been as day one as you can possibly be, and to see everybody, and to see how far the company's come, and to see how many people are enjoying the company that I enjoy, it's wonderful to see. So I'm so happy that you've been able to cross over or cross the line, as TNA would used to say.
Mm-hmm.
Here, if I may,
Go ahead.
Here's an idea for haters, people who hate AEW, people who hate WWE. Shut up and watch wrestling. Enjoy it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Enjoy what you like.
That's how I was. I've been a WWE guy since day one. Since I started watching wrestling. Yeah, day one-ish. Since I started watching wrestling, I was always a WWE guy.
You're day one, not WWE's day one.
Right. Then WCW started popping up. I said, let me check these guys out. I was doing the channel wars on Monday nights.
Mhm.
WWE go to a commercial, I go to WCW. WCW went to a commercial, I went back to WWE.
Question.
Yes.
So you were in the New York area, I'm assuming, right, in the 90s?
I was in Jersey City, of course.
So did you watch ECW at like 11 o'clock at night on MSG?
Once in a while, yeah.
Ah, okay. Because that's the one thing I regret. I wish I would have been able to watch it.
I was a wrestling fan to the point where one year for Halloween, I was like 14 years old.
Uh-huh.
I went out dressed as Surfer Sting. I spiked my hair up. I painted my face. I went out as Surfer Sting.
Wow.
Yep.
Did you dye your hair too?
No, I didn't dye my hair, but I spiked it up.
Yeah, okay.
I was going as close as I could without doing any damage to my hair. I had gotten a haircut, and I had the stylist do my hair up that day. And then I went to a Halloween party dressed as Surfer Sting.
How many times did you woo?
3 or 4 times. But guys, as always, it was a great show.
Wonderful show.
Thank you, Sprocket, for coming in. Chaos, Cobalt, Vonnie, thank you all for joining us in the chat. We all appreciate it.
Yes.
And the bot too.
guys-
We appreciate the bot.
Nah.
Yeah, fuck the bot.
I mean, as long as they're an American bot.
No, it doesn't matter. They're a bot. It doesn't. They're not a good bot. They're trying to get us to buy viewers. That's not happening.
Yeah. But you know what?
But,
Thank you, Sprocket, especially for coming in and joining us.
Yes.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. So, gentlemen, as always, until next week. Peace.
mm, 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 mm.